Growing a business is kind of tricky right now. Supply chains are squeezed, tariffs and trade policies are dynamic, and cash flow, it's tighter than ever. You need clarity to come out on top. Without it, you risk falling behind. If only you could hop in the DeLorean and see the future, right? Thankfully, there's NetSuite by Oracle. NetSuite has real-time forecasting to help you move ahead with confidence. This is your AI-powered business management suite and the #1 cloud ERP. Trusted by over 42,000 businesses, NetSuite brings accounting, financial management, inventory, and HR all under one roof. It's your single source of truth, giving you the data and control you need to move quickly. And with AI built in, you can automate the busy work and focus on strategy. NetSuite helps you see what's stuck, what it's costing you, and how to pivot fast. If I were running a business with a lot of moving parts, I'd use NetSuite for full control over everything. Tame the chaos with NetSuite. If your revenues are at least in 7 figures, download the free ebook, Navigating Global Trade, 3 Insights for Leaders at netsuite.com/SPI. That's netsuite.com/SPI. The perfect product launch. It's the goal for every brand marketer. High heat, fast sellout, and fans posting recipes like trophies. What do Sydney Sweeney's soap drop, Taylor Swift's tickets, and your next launch have in common? Well, they're not bought, they're bragged about. Fanfare turns your drop into a moment. Fanfare cues real fans, blocks bots, and builds launch experiences worth screenshotting. Want hype without the heartbreak? Get Fanfare's 5-step hype drop playbook with our proven success formula and make your next launch unforgettable at fanfare.io/playbook. Again, fanfare.io/playbook. Hey, I get it. You've worked really hard to build up your business and it's doing great. So great that you need help now. The most important thing for your business is to hire the right people to support it. So how can you find amazing candidates quickly? Easy. Just use Indeed. When it comes to hiring, Indeed is all you need. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. Indeed Sponsored Jobs helps you stand out and hire fast. And with Sponsored Jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. And it makes a huge difference. According to Indeed data, Sponsored Jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. And it's one of the largest databases of job seekers, too, giving business owners access to a wide range of candidates. And one of the things I love most about Indeed is the job alerts feature. I get notified when new candidates apply. There's no need to wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/smartpassive. Just go to Indeed.com/smartpassive right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/smartpassive. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring Indeed is all you need.
On-camera work is like anything. We don't like speaking on stage until we speak on stage and have practice. We don't like hearing ourselves on voicemail or being a voice actor until we practice. So it's that fear of the unknown is probably the best way to describe it. They think they can't do it until someone like me breaks it down and goes, okay, you can do it. Here are some tips and techniques basically of how you can look good, how you can feel comfortable and be you.
Every once in a while, somebody comes across SPI that just kind of blows my mind. And at times, I even am put in a position to help these people, even though many people might consider them already at the top of their game, which is pretty amazing. And that's one of the things that is happening right now, because I have the pleasure of not just interviewing, but also coaching Elise Baughman. If you don't know who Elise Baughman is, you might know a little anime called Dragon Ball Z. And specifically in Dragon Ball Z GT, there's a character named Pam that Elise actually voices. She is a voice actress, and she does voiceover coaching. She does on-camera coaching, executive coaching. And today, we get to flip the script. I become a voice actor. No, that's not going to happen today, because I would love for that to happen. If I could ever become a voice actor for any sort of anime or cartoon or animation, that would just blow my mind. One day. I have way too many things to focus on, but I would love to do that. I still need to write a song that I hear on the radio at 1.2. That's also a lifelong goal. I have many of these little challenges that I have for myself in life that are on my bucket list. Anyway, Elise is incredible. She is a coach and she's a voice actress and she voices Dragon Ball Z, which I've watched. It's just kind of surreal. But I also get a chance to coach her today. So you're going to hear me ask a lot of questions about what she's up to, where she wants to go, what is her goal. And how we navigate to where we end up is pretty amazing. You'll also get an opportunity to see some free stuff that she has for you in case you want to learn a little bit more about how to be great on camera, which is really where she wants to focus, and especially for entrepreneurs and executives. And we talk about niche, we talk about pains and problems, we talk about what is holding her back, what is holding her people back, her persona, and more. So this is going to be a great exercise. It's also a fun conversation, and Elise is incredible. So here she is, Elise Baughman from EliseCoaches.com.
You're listening to the Smart Passive Income Podcast, a proud member of the Entrepreneur Podcast Network, a show that's all about working hard now so you can sit back and reap the benefits later. And now your host. When he's on a team meeting, 90% of the time he's on a walk because it keeps him more attentive, Pat Flynn.
Elise, welcome to SPI. Thank you so much for taking the time today.
Oh, thank you. I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited that you're here too. You have a lot of history in the work of voice acting and even in animes too, which a lot of my audience knows I've just dove in headfirst into the deep end of that. But we're here to talk about something else today, something else that you're working on. Would you mind setting this up for us? What are we focusing on? Set the stage.
Yes, so we are here to talk about my on-camera coaching business. And you're absolutely right. I have a history as an actor on camera and in voice acting. And then I had been doing voiceover coaching. But what I am about to do is on-camera coaching. And I should say I have been doing on-camera coaching, but I haven't officially put it out into the World Wide Web, into the digital world. And especially during COVID, that kind of went away. So what I wanted to talk to you about, and my question for you is starting this kind of new and launching this new part, since I've been part of the acting world, what would you do knowing what you know, launching a new business, and what are, I would say, like the 3 to 5 things you would do starting off in a new business, in a new niche too, especially.
Perfect. Before I answer those questions and we work through those answers together, I'd love to get a little bit more of an understanding of who is it that you're targeting on camera coaching? Who is the person that you ideally imagine coaching and working with? What are their goals? Who is this person? Tell me a little bit about them.
Yeah, so the people I'm targeting in this niche, entrepreneurs with small businesses and all the way up to executives who work for large corporations. And I think that is the main thing that differentiates what I'm launching into compared to what I've been doing, because I have been working with actors and I've totally been in the acting community. So this is entrepreneurs and executives. And for example, because I've coached in that space before, I've worked with somebody in New York who was the chief strategist from Standard & Poor's. I've worked with a CPA who owned a small business and has 10 people working for her. I've worked with a real estate agent who was doing a TV pilot. So that is the space that I will be working in now. And I'm not dropping those other businesses that I have, but it's just targeting a new group of people.
Love that. And I think that's a great strategy. A lot of entrepreneurs need that help. They have this message to share. They often get in front of the camera in different kinds of ways, whether that's on YouTube or social media or on bigger media, more traditional media, and they just don't know how to handle it, right? And you've had that experience. You have those credentials. I think that's really smart.
Yeah, because sometimes people want to represent their company on YouTube or with internal videos or external, or they're being interviewed on MSNBC or CNN or wherever that interview is, and they just need the practice and need to build the confidence to go on camera. So those are the people that I will be helping.
I love it. One of the first things I often work with people when we're trying something new is to dig even deeper into who that person is, right? You just described perfectly the kind of person and some of the things they might do. But I'd love to learn a little bit more about what are the things that this new skill will unlock for them and get specific about that. Some people call these like the dreams. I like to call it the unlocks. And then we'll go from there to what I like to call the blocks. What are the things stopping them? What are the stories they're telling themselves about why they can't do this? So let's start with the unlocks. What is this after working with you? I guess the transformation after they work with you. What then is possible for them? What does this unlock for them?
So it unlocks, one is confidence, being able to communicate their brand, their message, engagement with their audience. So let's say, for example, if they're a CPA firm in this case, and they have messages that they want to get out to their brand and they want to get more customers. The goal is to create this brand, get engagement, and generate revenue. Then it is having the confidence to be on camera and be the representative, the spokesperson for their own company, or even for, if they're not the CEO of their company, for the company they're a part of. So they get that engagement, drive revenue, create the brand. And I know I repeated myself a little bit.
No, that's good. I mean, it's clear. The other side of this is what happens if they don't do this, right? And the reason why we're going through these exercises is this just helps us unlock language. It helps us understand how to talk to these people when we find them. It ends up on emails, on sales pages, on our YouTube videos, et cetera. So already we're getting an understanding of the language here. But let's amplify the problem. What happens if they just continue doing what they're doing? This is sort of the opposite side of the work. What happens if they just pass on this opportunity?
Well, I think there's a lack of growth in the company, whether it's their company or a company they're part of. So, and I think, gosh, right now, video is so important.
100%.
We've seen it for personal brands. It's so important to be on social media. For corporations, it is, what they say, video is king. So I think people can see a lack of growth. That is the main thing I would see.
I think you are absolutely right. However, I do want to point out something I'm noticing, Elise, if it's okay. I'm noticing that with your answers, you are prefacing your answer with, I think.
Okay.
And typically that's a sign that and this makes sense because we're just starting new.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, I'm not sure. How might I know for sure? And like, I think you have an idea. I think two things need to happen. And here I am saying the same thing. Number one, remove that language, right? It helps us become more authoritative with what is actually true, right? There's a difference between, well, I think videos become really important and it's something that you must master as an entrepreneur versus video is so important. You have to master this as an entrepreneur. There's a clear difference in now how much I believe you when you say this, right? So just from a language point of view, like let's remove the I think and let's get bold even.
I like it.
We can even take this one step further, and say, if you're not honing in on your on-camera presence skills, your competition is going to leave you in the dust. The more sticky and almost spicy, I guess you could call it, you could get with those claims and statements, the more that you're going to have people go, yes, Elise, like you're absolutely right and believe you. And then, if a person can see that you understand the problems and the concerns and the things that they're going through, kind of even subconsciously, they're going to go, okay, well, then you must have the answers. So that's just a little lesson. And I want to hear and gauge your reaction to what I just framed for you.
Well, I love that. And it even confirms what I've talked to Sync Lab Media about. They've noticed their clients who are doing video and have a content strategy and a marketing strategy are taking off. And the ones who are a little resistant are being left behind. So what you said just confirms the conversations we have been having. So I love what you're saying.
Oh my gosh. So you actually have proof now.
Yeah, I have proof.
You have actual tangible proof. And that's another thing that's good to have as well. And this is all great stuff to have. You actually, even though you're just starting out, you have so much already at your advantage in the quiver, if you will, to utilize. Because another thing that's important with starting a business is, well, people default to, okay, well, does this really work? Or is that actually true? People will always ask themselves, whether out loud or just subconsciously. And if you can get in front of them and you say, hey, I just told you how important video is. Let me show you. Here is a actual company who has spent some time focusing on their on-camera presence, and look at where they're at now. Look how many YouTube subscribers they have. Check out this clip from an interview and look how well positioned they are in the space, versus here's one company that didn't do this and they're falling off and their competition's blowing them away. And that would tell me as a person, a prospect, a potential student of yours, I would go, okay, not only is she claiming these things, but she has proof and she understands why this is important for me. Where do I sign up, right? How do we get on a call together? I want to start working with you.
I like that.
Good.
Having actual proof. Yes, that's great.
What are some of the common things that people who you either have worked with or you're going to work with, when they think of on-camera presence, why do they think that maybe they can't do this, or why this might be hard, or what story are they telling themselves that they would go, oh, this isn't for me, or this is not going to work?
They're just scared because they haven't done it before. On-camera work is like anything. We don't like speaking on stage until we speak on stage and have practice. We don't like hearing ourselves on voicemail or being a voice actor until we practice. So it's that fear of the unknown is probably the best way to describe it.
Mm-hmm.
They think they can't do it until someone like me breaks it down and goes, okay, you can do it. Here are some tips and techniques basically of how you can look good, how you can feel comfortable. And in fact, now that we're bringing it up, I can't talk. A voice actor can't talk. Now that we are bringing it up, I have something for your audience.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I do. So if you go to elisecoaches.com/Pat, there is a free download for people. Captivate your audience on camera. And there are 15 tips about how to be authentic on camera. But when you break it down and go, okay, act like you're talking to one person. You're talking to one person. You're not talking to an audience. Be you. Be unafraid to make a mistake, like I just did when I couldn't say my words. There are tips that just give you ideas of how to be authentic and how to be yourself, and then practice and watch yourself and get feedback. I think you even mentioned this on, I like that little phrase, I think. I know you mentioned on one of your podcasts that you still watch yourself to see what you're doing well and see what you're not doing well. So people just need to do that because we need to know what we're doing. And when we look pleasant or when we make this weird face, it just helps to see what we're doing. So those tips should help. So elisecoaches.com/Pat.
EliseCoaches, CHES.com/Pat. Go get that free download. Thank you for that. That was a pleasant surprise. So you got the marketing stuff down. You already know what you're doing on camera to get leads and stuff, which is fantastic. And I'm about to ask you some questions about the very start or what you've done so far. But I want to finish up what we talked about in terms of these blocks or stories that people are telling themselves. I want to plus one what you said about just the fear of getting started, right? Like, I've never done this before. This is hard. Again, when either pitching or displaying your information of what you can offer online on your website or what have you, it is great to get in front of these statements and actually dispel them, almost kind of have a pre-understanding or even like a script, if you will, of what to say in response to someone who has that thought. For example, if somebody says, well, I haven't done this before, you might say, of course you haven't done it before. You haven't had the right coaching and it seems hard, but I'm going to make it easy for you with 2 simple steps. And now I'm like, okay, what are those 2 simple steps, right? So I took that fear and I turned it around and said, no, I got you. I understand that you're going through that. Don't worry. Like, I get it. But here's how we fight against that. Another one that I thought of because I was putting myself in the shoes of your audience is, well, I've tried this before and I'm terrible, right? That's another one that people would say. I've seen myself on camera, Elise, and I just cringe. And you can respond and say, first of all, everybody cringes at themselves, so that's not anything new. But if you don't think that you can do this well, what's missing is a framework. And you need the framework that I have to help you get comfortable so that you're not thinking too much, so that you can just be you. So again, you see how I took that fear, flipped it, and then got in front of it for people. I hope that exercise makes sense. And you can do that with every kind of rebuttal or objection that a person might have in your space. Does that make sense?
It does, because that's what I do with my voice actors when they're getting started. I have a lot of people who come to me for voice acting who are just getting started. So I do that very thing. So I think, it makes total sense to do that with on camera as well.
Fantastic. Still using a copy-paste website? Break the template trap with Framer. Whether you're overwhelmed by traditional site builders or frustrated with cookie-cutter designs, Framer gives you the freedom to create a site that's professional, polished, and uniquely yours. Framer is the design-first, no-code website builder that lets anyone ship a production-ready site in minutes. It's free to start, allowing you to browse hundreds of pixel-perfect templates or even design something on your own on a totally blank canvas. Add bold animations like appear effects, text effects, parallax scrolling, scroll animations, looping animations, and much more in seconds. The built-in AI handles the heavy lifting, generating starter layouts, and can even translate your entire site to any language. Ready to build a site that looks hand-coded without hiring a developer? Launch your site for free at framer.com and use code SPI to get your first month of pro on the house. That's framer.com, promo code SPI. Framer.com, promo code SPI. Rules and restrictions may apply. With running your own business, legal questions always come with the territory. Like, can I use this contract or agreement? What do I do if a client doesn't pay? Am I even structured the right way for taxes? Instead of Googling your way through legal landmines, imagine having a law firm ready to address your business's legal needs without the sticker shock. That's what you get with Legal Shield's small business plans. Legal Shield helps entrepreneurs access real legal help on contract reviews, collection letters, business formation guidance, and even help navigating IRS audits. Members can schedule consultations, upload documents through the app, and get support from a provider law firm that knows small business laws in your state. Plus, consultations on taxes or trademarks help you stay ahead of potential problems. And if a client is late on a payment, Legal Shield steps in with professional collection letters so you can protect your hard-earned revenue, all for a fraction of the price of hiring a lawyer on your own. Go to LegalShield.com/SPI or call 833-570-9980 to learn more and get big business legal support without a big business budget. That's LegalShield.com/SPI. Okay, so let's dive into kind of what you've done already. Where is this business at currently? And then we can kind of take it to the next stage, whatever that stage might be. Tell me where you're at right now.
So where I am right now, I have the website, EliseCoaches.com, that tells the 3 types of coaching that I do: voiceover coaching, on-camera coaching, and executive coaching. I have partnered with SyncLab Media, which is synclabmedia.com, and they work on video content and marketing strategy for their clients. So I am their on-camera coach. So I'm already part of their team. And then that's probably about it. I haven't even officially launched my website. It has been in development up until this point that we are talking.
Okay.
And then I have a history of coaching, but it, like I mentioned earlier, it just kind of poofed away during COVID. Yeah.
Right. And then now we're bringing it back, and we're bringing it back online, and we want to get some people in there. And I think, I had heard this stat recently from a friend of mine, Rory Vaden, who said the number one reason people buy from a person online, especially when it comes to getting anything like coaching or something that is from a person, it's not because of copy. It's not because of even the offer itself. It's because they have testimonials on the website. When it comes to personal brands and coaching, the reputation that you have is really, really important. And the deeper that you can go with that, the better. And thankfully for you, you have built a reputation already in other parts of this space. And so there's a lot of credibility there already that a lot of people don't have when they start. So that's fantastic. But for this specific offer, if you don't have it already, I would see what I could do to have 1 or 2 people work with you already. And the thing is, most people don't need a website to get 1 or 2 people. You might be already in communities or have partners or friends or people who might be able to utilize the work that you do. And the reason this is important is for 3 reasons. Number 1, it kind of forces you to just figure out where these people exist, even before your website's up, even before, and if you have it up already, that's fine. That's even a bonus. But the understanding of where these people exist, what entrepreneurial communities, for example, or where do executives hang out that you could come in and provide value to, that's a great exercise. And if you could find 1 person in there, that's great. And then when you work with this 1 person, you begin to start to unpack exactly what is working and what isn't. I know that when I've worked with executives, like very high level performing executives, working with them is completely different than working with the stay-at-home parent, because they just think differently and they're always on the move. And it's just a different kind of way to teach. And so you discover so much about how to teach them and also what is stopping them. An executive, for example, might have a packed schedule. So, okay, here is our way to fit this into your schedule. Here is a way to continue to practice despite your busy schedule. All these things that are going to be based on the sort of avatar of the person that you're working on and working with. And then the whole big thing here is number 3, to get them to a point where they get a result. Because once you get that result for that 1 person, it becomes the clearest evidence ever that the thing that you're talking about works. And that becomes the case study that you display and share that story. You can take micro pieces of that success story and share it on social. And that becomes a way for you not just to have content about the thing you're doing, but also a success story already built into that. And so if you don't have that yet, you could focus on that with your next client or your first client that you get after your launch, or you might already even be thinking of people that you could be working with in that manner?
Well, what's nice is because I've worked in this space before, I have multiple testimonials. I don't have them on my website yet, but I have testimonials and pictures being on set or in studio with them.
Great. Then that's what we want to see. That's definitely what we want to see. And then, of course, do you have a YouTube channel or some mechanism to get in front of people, maybe in a more algorithmic manner?
Well, I have a YouTube channel, but it is anime, like I am interviewing anime voice actors. So it is not related to on-camera coaching.
Got it. Okay. So if I were in your position with the status that you have and the connections that you have, it would likely be, my marketing strategy would be this. I would ask to see how I might be able to provide value to either the people I already know or the communities and groups that I'm already a part of. That's going to be the simplest and easiest way to get clients. And if you did want to run a launch per se, for example, hey, during this month, I'm going to get 10 new students. It's May 2024, and I'm going to get 10 students to come on board and work with me. I can only do 10, but it's high-level coaching, and I'm here for you if you are an executive or an entrepreneur who wants to increase your on-camera presence so that you can make more revenue and make a bigger impact or whatever the call to action is. That can force a particular moment in time for you to just, okay, this is my time, Elise, to go in and talk about this and ask and go and make it happen and fill in these 10 spots. And that provides a little scarcity as well in terms of, well, there's only so many spots available, so a person has to make a decision one way or another versus, hey, it's open and you can come in anytime. And a person's not going to necessarily feel forced to make that decision, a yes or a no, if there isn't that sort of close period or limited number of seats, at least for the launch component of this. This could be something that over time could remain open so that you're continually getting clients. But I think in the beginning, some sort of launch and an event-like announcement that has a certain number of seats or a certain amount of time to sign up for could provide enough of a push to have people make a decision one way or another in that networking community that you have.
Well, I love that. And I'm actually talking with SyncLab Media about doing a one-day workshop for executives for on-camera presence and teleprompter skills. So we've already been working that out.
Oh, great. That seems like a really great partnership, one that is mutually beneficial. And I think you both can kind of increase presence on both sides and value on both sides from there, which is really great. Lean into that partnership. I think that there are moments in our business careers where you connect with a company and it's just like such a good vibe. And not only are you partners in terms of either affiliates or kind of fun things like this, but you could take it even further. My relationships with certain companies have grown to a point where I have now even ownership in some of those companies because I've been able to help them and they've been able to help me. And I have a unique kind of position in the space as a user and also, having access to people who would be customers eventually. So there's a lot of great things you can do and you can kind of collaborate with them. And a couple things there is paying attention to what their needs are, where are they going and what do they want to do and seeing how you can kind of fit into that. And that may already be happening. And vice versa, just kind of having lines of communication open and you tell them, hey, summer is over and we're about to do this launch. If there's any help that you could provide, or do you know anybody in your Rolodex who has this and, can you connect them with me? Those relationships with companies like that can be huge.
Agreed. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Fantastic. So what are some of the big worries that you have leading into the launch of this thing as we finish up here? I want to know kind of what's on your mind and what obstacles you feel like you're facing right now.
I don't know if I'm extremely worried except work-life balance.
Okay.
Because I do have a little dude who is here watching. But so just family is super important. And so I'm very excited about launching this new business. But I also want to keep the others running. And I also want to keep family first. So I really think that's my biggest worry.
For sure. It seems like you would have experience with understanding, the puzzle piece of life and all those things as a voice actress. And sometimes you don't even know what's happening until the day before, I know, in that world. And so you are able to manage and juggle. And, it's times 10 like that with a kid for sure. So little dude who's watching, hello. I think this is one of those things where I can't tell you how to schedule things, but what I can say is that the best thing that I've done for me and that I've offered to some friends of mine is just to check in with yourself every once in a while. We can get into a point of life sometimes where we're just kind of on autopilot because of all the things we've said yes to. And all of a sudden, it just like things get out of control before we even have a chance to figure things out. But, if you take some time either bi-weekly or weekly or monthly or whatever, just to kind of literally in the calendar, just check in with yourself. I'm not even talking like meditate or whatever, maybe just a walk or something where you can go, how is my schedule? What am I saying yes to that I should continue to do? But what also is on my plate that maybe would be worth exploring how to remove or optimize or push over to somebody else or something like that? Do you work with an assistant for anything to help unload some of that effort?
I have a video editor for my YouTube channel, and then I have someone who helps me with social media.
That's great.
For both my YouTube world and my Elise Baughman social media platforms.
So you've taken the things that take the most time already, which is editing and social media often, and you've already unloaded that. So that's great. You're already practicing a lot of those things. So, for me, family first always as well, and just, making sure that I, on the calendar, also put that in. That's weird for a lot of people to see that I have like family time on my calendar, but my calendar, and you know how they call it time blocking?
Yeah, we use that term.
I think it's time blocking because we're blocking out everything else from coming in on that time, right? That's how I think about it. Not the blocks of time, but I'm blocking out what doesn't matter right now. And that's why I actually have family time. And it's like, no, this is sacred and nothing can touch it. I block everything out. So I don't know if that helps.
No, it's funny that you do that because my husband and I have scheduled meetings before and people have made fun of me. I'm like, no,
that's great.
We have to have meetings sometimes to we'll do what you said, evaluate and make sure, we check in with each other and we know what's going on. But if you don't schedule it, sometimes it doesn't happen. And we both work from home, so we're home all the time. But yeah, I totally get what you're saying.
Amazing. Well, I really look forward to seeing how this progresses and the launch, where, in case people are listening and they're like, I am an entrepreneur, which many of them are, and I also need help being on camera and understanding how to, have a presence on YouTube or TikTok or on media. Where can they go? Would you recommend EliseCoaches.com/Pat, maybe to get some of those first tips from you?
Yeah, exactly. EliseCoaches.com/Pat. And then that website, EliseCoaches.com, has everything. Has my social media, it has YouTube, everything you need to know you can find there.
Incredible. Favorite anime character that you've voiced?
It has to be Pan from Dragon Ball GT,
of course.
Because
I was going to say.
It's not just because I love her, because she's spunky and loves her family, but she launched my voiceover career. She was actually my first role to book.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And in case you have any Dragon Ball folks out there and they've seen Dragon Ball GT, Grandpa, and my favorite line is cheeseburgers, fries, and blueberry pies.
Oh my gosh, that's so good.
So yeah, I loved it. Well, and I've been voicing her for so long. I'm still doing video games with all the Dragon Ball Z video games. So who knew when I first voiced her that I'd be doing it all these years later?
That is incredible. Well, we'll have to get you back on the show at some point in the future to uncover that story. And I'm sure that story exists out there too on your website. So EliseCoaches.com/Pat. You can get your way to looking and feeling better and more confident on camera. Thank you so much for today. Are there any other things that you want to cover before we finish up, or did we hit the mark today?
No, I don't think so. I think we hit great stuff. Thank you so much, Pat. This has been very helpful. I appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you as well. All right. I hope you enjoyed that coaching call with Elise. Elise was actually somebody who I had randomly selected from a number of survey respondents, and it was pretty cool that it ended up being Elise, aka Pan from Dragon Ball Z GT. So really cool. And she also offered a link for you to go and check out to see some goodies. If you go to EliseCoaches.com/Pat, you're going to see a free download there, and you'll get the top 15 steps to be your best authentic self on camera, how to captivate your audience, and all that great stuff. So go ahead and check it out now. Elise, ELISE, coaches.com/Pat. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And be sure to hit that subscribe button so I can catch you in the next one. Cheers. Thank you so much for listening to the Smart Passive Income podcast at smartpassiveincome.com. I'm your host, Pat Flynn. Sound editing by Duncan Brown. Our senior producer is David Grabowski, and our executive producer is Matt Gartland. The Smart Passive Income podcast is a production of SPI Media and a proud member of the Entrepreneur Podcast Network. Catch you next week. I get it. You want to grow your business, but selling at scale feels overwhelming. You're drowning in complicated funnels, creating different lead magnets, or constantly posting on social media. And that gets exhausting fast, especially when you're trying to sell to hundreds or thousands of people. But what if you could sell at scale with a simple, powerful quiz? A Score app quiz or assessment asks your audience key questions and gives them instant personalized results based on their answers. Your audience gets to know where they are now and shows them the steps they need to hit their goals. You can set up a quiz in minutes using Score app's templates and have a powerful lead magnet that'll do the selling for you. The best part is your audience actually wants to take this quiz, and you build huge amounts of trust before you even make a single offer. No hard sales, no chasing leads, just value at scale. Get 50% off the first 3 months using the discount code SPI. Just head to scoreapp.com/SPI. Again, that's scoreapp.com/SPI. More people dream about building their own business and being their own boss rather than retiring early. But a majority of them never even take the first steps to register the business. Why? Because starting a business can feel overwhelming. With legal forms, paperwork, finances, it's a lot. And that's where Taylor Brands comes in. Taylor is a complete business builder designed to make launching your business simple and stress-free. You can register your LLC in just minutes, keeping your personal and business assets separate from day one. And from there, you can get access to everything you need to get off the ground, from legal documents, licenses and permits, invoicing and bookkeeping tools, and even a 100-day business coaching program to help you hit the ground running. You'll also get a free personalized business plan, branding tools, and so much more. And of course, our listeners get an exclusive 35% discount to get started. Just head to taylorbrands.com/SPI. That's TAILORBRANDS.com/SPI. Stop dreaming, start building with Taylor Brands.